You're listening to Orlando Credit Union's On the Money. I'm your host, Kaylee Green, and today I'm joined by Orlando Credit Union Branch Manager, Kapricia Birch. Hi, Kapricia.
Hi, Kaylee.
How are you today?
I'm well. How about yourself?
I'm doing good. So today we are talking about credit card rewards and the rewards program that we offer at Orlando Credit Union. We've obviously had you on the podcast before, but for anybody who's a first-time listener or who maybe just needs a refresher, remind us about your background in the financial industry.
Yes, definitely. So I have about 13 years in the financial industry. Most of it has been with Orlando Credit Union. And as a result, I just really love what we do as a credit union on a whole, having that personalized experience with our members, and just been growing, from a part-time teller to into management now.
So you mentioned that you have that personalized experience with members. Obviously, you are in the branches. You're talking to people face to face. What do you feel is so rewarding about that?
I love meeting with our members. There is nothing like having people return to you for business, asking for you specifically when they're in a certain need, and they're basically trusting and seeking you for your guidance. And so it feels very rewarding when they bring themselves, but also refer other people to you. We definitely get a lot of referral business. So nothing speaks more volumes than that when people keep coming back or sending others to you.
Exactly. So like I said earlier, we're talking about credit card rewards today. So obviously a rewards program can really make a card worth it for a lot of people, depending on what you're looking for. So what do we offer at Orlando Credit Union? Let's do a general synopsis and then we can talk a little bit about the details.
Sure. So basically we have rewards credit card, we have rewards checking. There's a multitude of ways for you to even get reward points through loans, like having balances in your direct deposit to your checking account. So there's multitude of ways. Even anniversaries are ways for you to get points.
Yeah, we definitely, I feel like, do not skimp out on the rewards.
No.
So it's really great because no matter what area of the credit union you are working in, or
yes,
you can get those rewards, which I think is really awesome. So our rewards points program comes with many perks. As we just talked about, there are so many different ways that you can get those rewards points. You just talked about the different ways that you can earn points. Explain what loyalty points are. If somebody goes on our website, obviously they see loyalty points. What is that?
So we kind of touch on it a little bit. So having an anniversary with us will get you some points. Also for existing members. So I'll touch on, if you're a new member, you can get up to 2,500 points just from becoming a member and then following a few steps. That is getting you so close to the first cash out of anything that we offer on our rewards portal. For our members, though, that have been existing, you don't get the 1,000 points for being, a new member, but you are eligible to get that 1,500 points essentially. And those include mobile deposit, downloading our mobile app, adding the card to the digital wallet. There's a multitude of ways for you to basically get these one-time bonus points, but they're pretty lucrative to get you closer to getting something that you want on the rewards portal.
Yeah. I think that's great. Yeah. And I have to ask the question, is there a limit to the amount of rewards that you can earn?
I'm happy to say there is not. There is no cap whatsoever. And the beautiful thing is that our points are good for 3 years, which is unheard of. Most places is 1 year.
Yeah.
So if you happen to forget, why would you? But if you happen to forget, they're still there for 3 years.
Or if you're saving up for something
That's what
really
I'm talking
big.
about. Yes.
So are there any limitations or restrictions on how a cardholder can use their rewards?
No. So basically it's a portal and you can access, it's a list of things like gift cards, merchandise for travel. The list goes on and on. So based on what you kind of talked about before, accruing those points for maybe something really big, you can do so through the portal, but there's no restrictions.
So you just talked about exactly what you can redeem your points for. How can you make credit card points worth your while? Do you have any tips, any tricks, any strategies?
Absolutely. I would definitely say check it out because then, like you said, sometimes you need a certain amount of points in order to do this big, grand option. So for instance, I'll use an example. We had a member that actually forgot that there were points, and he ended up being able to cash it out for flying lessons. It was a significant amount of points, but that was impressive. And he said it was something that wasn't on his radar, but he was excited to say, you know what, why not? Let me go ahead and give it a try. And he actually went back and took a few more lessons, and he was retired, but it was a beautiful story.
That is really inspiring. That's inspiring me to want to use my credit card more often to rack up those points. I know a lot of people, want to get rewards points that they can use towards fuel redemption, towards cash back. They're looking at those ways that they can, help cut corners on their spending just in everyday life, which I think is really beneficial, especially right now. I mean, things are not cheap. Gas is not cheap. My groceries are a lot more than they used to be.
Yes.
So I think it's really a great opportunity to say, okay, how can I spend in a way where I'm actually helping myself save?
Yeah. In addition, with our rewards card, the points are tiered by the type of purchases. So like you touched on, groceries, that's double the points. Or if you're traveling, that's 3 times the points per dollar you're spending. And then our lovely Amazon, you can get up to 4 times the points, which who doesn't do that? I do that on a regular basis. So there are those tips. And so you could turn around, rack up points. Let's just use Amazon since we're on it, and then get a gift card for them to then use it again towards something else, which I've done. So I've cashed out and gotten gift card and then put it on my account, and I'm able to get quote unquote what feels like free money in a sense.
I know. I was just thinking that. I feel like this is a funny example, but right now in my generation, we all say, how are we going to girl math that? So it's like we say, how can we make it make sense to a point where it feels free? And that's literally what that is. Yeah. So I'm like, well, it was free. I used my credit card.
You were going to use it anyway, so you might as well do it and then get rewarded for it.
Exactly. But with the Extreme Rewards credit card, which you were just talking about, they really do offer a way for you to get so many points.
Yes.
Like you said, Amazon, for me, I'm always on Amazon.
Same.
My cart always has stuff in it. I'm always ready to check out.
Right.
So it's almost like, well, yeah, I'm getting 4 times the points if I pay with Amazon. So
I'm going to use that card.
Exactly. So I think we have a really great reward system with the Extreme Rewards card. So remind me again, we have 4 times the points for Amazon.
Yes.
3 times the points
for grocery and dining. And then 2 times the points is for, I apologize, I switched that. It's actually for travel and dining is 3 times the points. And for grocery and fuel is 2 times the points. And then for everything else, it's 1 per dollar that you spend. So
you can actually rack up a very decent amount of points. Is there anything that you've ever seen in the portal that has caught your eye that you think is like a really unique thing that you could cash in your points for? Obviously, flying lessons are crazy.
Exactly.
I didn't even think that would be in there.
I've definitely seen some really cool appliances like juicers that probably run for $300 that you just traded in for some points. And it's really such an easy system where you select it, you put it in a cart, and you kind of cash it out. And then in some cases, like the gift cards we were talking about, some of them are electronic, so you get access to them right away. Others, they just mail it to you. But either way, it'll be there just in a few days to your home.
That's so cool. So I think there's 2 elements to rewards points. I think there's I am just utilizing my credit card every day, not thinking about it. So now I have all these points. Let me take them and cash it out for something I've really wanted. Or, let's be honest, there are 2 types of people. There are spenders and there are savers.
Yes.
So I feel like, depending on who you are, you're either going to say, wow, I have all these points. I can go get something fun that I wouldn't normally buy for myself.
Right.
So I think that's where it's cool in that aspect. But then, if you are someone who maybe does make impulse purchases already, you can then in turn take your rewards points and put them towards gas or groceries or other things that are important to you,
necessities,
life. So do you have any member success stories on how a cardholder has benefited from using our rewards points? I know you just talked about that flying lesson, which is crazy, but I'm sure there are so many.
So many. I'll say the most common that I definitely see is that members will rack up the points, and then towards the end of the year, what they'll do is they cash it out for gift cards. And so we all know the holiday season is probably the most expensive time of the year for most of us. Mm-hmm. So if you're able to cash it out and get multiple gift cards that you just go ahead and give as gifts, now it feels like you did it for free. You know what I mean? In that case, they're giving it to someone else. In other cases, sometimes they have enough left over, they can get something for themselves as well. But I would say that would be the most common thing. But those flying lessons were definitely like the most outrageous. Yes.
That's so smart too. Mm-hmm. Obviously, you think, well, I can get cash back, but gift cards are a really great idea as well. Especially if, you do an Amazon gift card. I probably do all of my holiday shopping on Amazon anyway. So then you're able to just put it all towards that, which is really great. And I think that's also really encouraging for people who, might not necessarily use their credit card as much. Like they just don't think about it. Maybe they use cash. Like these are the benefits of using that credit card and making sure you're actively using it. I know that some people take one credit card and they use that for their groceries, another credit card for their gas. And what's cool about our credit card specifically is that, it's beneficial in all of those areas.
In every one of those areas, yeah. So one card for it all. And then it's just easy to manage on top of your debit card also being the other purchasing power. So it's just points on points on points.
I mean, how can you compete with that?
No, you love that.
Yeah. How do you know how our credit card compares to other credit cards?
Oh, in the sense of, well, our interest rate tends to be lower, but I've never heard of anyone having the level of the times, like as far as dollars spent. Mm-hmm. For a long period of time. So for the Amazon, it's good for the year. But then after that, you're always getting that purchasing power for the dining, the travel. I mean, everyone wants to go on a vacation. And so I would say that's how it compares. And then the cashback option. So I think most people love that no matter what you said it, like you have spenders and savers. So if you keep wanting to spend, you can cash it out for the gift cards or merchandise or something else. But if you do want cash back, you can do that as well, which I have a lot of members that do that. They're like, hey, Kapricia, would you help me out? And we just go ahead and it goes right into their savings account at Orlando Credit Union. So they'll have it to use within a few days after they put it in the cart.
And you said something that I just thought of that kind of ties back to what a credit union is as far as connecting with a member. If you have a credit card that you just got online from a big bank, you might not have that connection. You have to sit on the call and wait in the queue to talk to a person. But if you have a Orlando Credit Union credit card, you can just walk into a branch, talk to somebody face to face, and then, you're able to hear those success stories too. So.
Absolutely. So it's a wonderful thing. Yeah. And it's a pleasure to help them and just really help them maximize it. Because as I said, they didn't know the purchasing power until you're like, no, do you know you get this for this? So we become top of wallet as a result of that.
Yeah. And you learn things that you didn't even know existed. Like I'm sure I have a credit card that, is from a bigger bank that there are things on there that I don't even know are possible because I'm not having that personal conversation with the people who work there. So
absolutely.
Well, that's really great information. Obviously, great to know for anybody who might be thinking about getting a rewards credit card. Hearing about the benefits, I think, will definitely win anybody over. So thank you again so much for chatting.
You're welcome.
So to learn more about Orlando Credit Union and our credit card rewards program, you can head to our website at orlandocreditunion.org, or you can make an appointment in one of our branches to find out more. Until next time, we're investing in you. Orlando Credit Union is providing this podcast as a public service. The information provided is neither a legal interpretation nor a statement of Orlando Credit Union policy. Reference to any specific product does not constitute an endorsement or recommendation by the credit union. Views and opinions expressed by Orlando Credit Union employees are those of the employees and do not necessarily reflect the views of the credit union or any of its officers. Orlando Credit Union is not providing any financial, economic, legal, accounting, or tax advice or recommendations in this podcast.